Summer's approaching, and as well as exam season, so here's everything I watched in May. And I started this month with a short film, that being The Punisher: One Last Kill. And I did not enjoy it. It was just more of the same of what we've seen John Berthel's Punisher do, in my opinion, and nothing new from him. Yes, it was a deeper dive into his psychosis, with him hallucinating about his war trips and his dead family, but it's just an elevation of what we have already seen, in my opinion. I feel like there could have been more to be done, and even the action wasn't anything crazy. Like, even stuff in Daredevil Born Again season 1, I feel was better than this, and that was not even fantastic. And I think if you haven't watched the show, you might be intrigued by this special, but I just expected way more, especially considering I have watched season 1 and season 2 of The Punisher. Then after a long period, I watched They Will Kill You, and it's kind of crazy that this and Ready or Not 2 came out around the same time, because they share a lot together. But I did enjoy the pace of this film. It's a decent story, and it was made fun and interesting. Did I have more fun with Ready or Not? Honestly, I cannot say. I think Ready or Not characters were better, but the premise here, and I kind of enjoyed more. But the action here was 100% better, and I love the creativity with its gore and how visceral this movie gets. And we see like people's limbs just come off and their heads are just blown off, because like there's this whole thing of the people can't die, so we see like singular pieces of people's body being moved. And I think all those things in the movie were fun, but narratively, I cannot lie, this movie didn't really have it, and it just made me kind of bored. But it was fun to see like the action set pieces, and I think that was nice. I also watched Honey Don't finally, and it was meh. It's not great in my opinion. It had some strong points, like, I don't know, Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley. Also, this is like a kind of comedic film. Some parts were funny, I cannot lie. I think Chris Evans did an amazing job. But the film, for me, was just boring narratively. Like, the whole detective mystery thing about the movie, it just felt like I was watching things happen and nothing really happened. I don't know who I'm seeing. I don't know what is going on narratively. Things just move and time just passes. And I'm comparing this film, if I should compare this film to Drive Away Dolls, by the same director, by Margaret Qualley also being starred in it, it's a huge drop off in my opinion, and I'm kind of disappointed by that. And then I watched Obsession, and this film was good, and everything it could be. A low budget horror film from Blue House. I don't know, I always have like this thing at the back of my mind when I watch their films, and surprisingly this was fantastic. I think the performances here were amazing. From Edna Verte playing Nikki, I think she was able to encapsulate this psychologically broken vessel of a person that has no job but to love this one foolish dude. And the film had its moments where like you expect it to go there, and I still managed to pack this level of intrigue and punch. And the supporting cast may have not been the best, but I feel like the main cast, the two main leads, in their opinion, they did their job. And as I mentioned, it really gets creepy and messed up, and at the same time it also has some really comedic moments that do work for the film, and I think everything came all together. I also watched Born After Reading, and this was a film that took a minute for me before I could fully connect to it, but when it does, I will even say it takes an extra gear and gets super interesting. At least for me, it didn't really feel that way. It just felt like everything just fell into place. All these people from different parts of their own world having a piece of this overarching story, and you see it from the view of the FBI, CIA, whatever Jake and Sierra's character is, and it's just really funny. It's a movie that I'm annoyed I couldn't really get the most out of in my first viewing, because I know on second viewing I would love it, but it's just the fact that I wasted that first viewing that just hurts me. But it's a really good film, and I really appreciate the film for what it is, and I feel like it does have some strong points. I think some of the acting is amazing. We have 2000s George Clooney, 2000s Brad Pitt, and I feel like everything was just amazing. It made it a really entertaining watch. Then I watched the first scary movie film, and I'm trying to watch all 5 before the reboot. I wanted to do a why I love the scary movie franchise, but honestly I do not have time for this. But I'll still watch all of them, because these are films that were somewhat of my childhood, and I cannot lie, they don't age well for me, because I'm trying to force myself to laugh at some of the jokes, and I just feel like the humor in these movies, yes, it is over the top. That's the entire appeal of it. That's the entire point of it. But for me, it just doesn't work. Doesn't work most of the time. Maybe a reference or a cameo can be funny for me that one time, but that's like 1 out of every 6, and it's just not something. Maybe it will get better, but I doubt. I know the last 2 are completely rubbish, but I think the second one's good, so I can't wait to watch that one. Then I watched Toy Story for the same reason, and this one I'm gonna actually try to drop on everything I watch. No, not everything. A why I love Toy Story video, because I love Toy Story, and it gets better on every watch, I know. But this first movie is just amazing. Like, the film, it's just a film that makes you know that the filmmakers cared and put effort and put love into their craft here. And I'm not gonna lie, this is not a film that I've watched like 10,000 times. This is probably maybe my 3rd or 5th time watching this film. So the fact that like I could appreciate it even more compared to my previous times, and I know because it's such a small like pool of the amount of times I've watched it, it's like incremental appreciations that I'm gonna have for this movie. But it's still a great film, and I still feel like this movie was well ahead of its time. And then for TV, it's the same old. I have The Boys and Daredevil. I'm not really going to talk too much of the boys because I already have a review for this, and I'm already doing a why I love the boys video. But I'm just going to talk about season 5 as a whole, because I will stand in my opinion that season 5 is a good season. Is it the best season of the boys? Far from it. But especially after what happened in season 4, I expected a lot more from season 5, the finale. But it's a shame that it didn't really live up to that hype. But for me, it's not an awful season, just not to that expectation that we had. And then for Daredevil Born Again season 2, this was such a long time ago, but I think he ended well. I have a video on that, go watch it. And I honestly can't wait to see where the characters go. Like, I'm excited to see where Bullseye goes, for example. And please, I'm tired of Wilson Fisk. And also, I watched Spider-Noir, and it's been great. I have been watching the show really slowly. I have not finished it yet. I think I'm on episode 6 as I'm recording this video. And the one thing I love about this show is how alive the world feels. Like, the fact that we see side characters have lives and interact with the main cast. Like, there's this moment when, like, Ben Reilly is holding up a phone booth waiting for a phone call, and we see him have a conversation with this random lady. You do not have to put that there. You can just, like, have him doing the phone call. You don't have to add that part there. But it's just little things like that I love about this show, and it's really good. And I'm like, why didn't Sony try to do a show like this sooner? Like, actually make a good show or movie or whatnot, rather than giving us slop like Madam Web. But yeah, that's everything I watch in a month. Summer is going to be long, especially with exams on my neck. So yeah, pray for me. Hopefully content increases, especially after my exams. Thank you for watching my videos, and please let me know what you watch this month. And I also want to know your thoughts on Spider-Noir. So far, so good. I'm loving it. And yeah, thank you again. See you in the next one. Peace.